From coast to coast, in every state of the Union, the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America present...
It pays to be ignorant.
What happens when a racetrack gets flooded?
They pull the plugs out.
Pay the man $8.
It pays to be ignorant.
How do you make a peach cordial?
Buy her a meal.
Pay the man $9 because...
It pays to be ignorant.
Good evening.
Good evening to you, too.
You know, I realize I could I do like a stammering guy very easily.
That had sort of a Paul Harvey cadence to it, though.
Is it the rest of the storm? Okay, you know, I was about to launch into a Paul Harvey.
Is that where you're headed?
I was, because I couldn't think of anything else, and I'm a very simple man, I guess.
No, you're a fine man.
Well, I didn't mean simple intelligence-wise. We already knew that.
No.
Single digit.
No.
They call me the single-digit IQ man. My IQ is 8. I only know one thing really well. Good night, everybody. Thank you for your flexibility tonight in allowing me to start the show later.
It really didn't require a great deal of flexibility.
Well, I could have said it in the text. I said, thank you. I meant to say it, so now I thought, you know what? Take some time out of the pod.
Hey, I appreciate it. It's nice to, it's nice to stay polite in a relationship.
Yeah. But it would have been more polite if I did it off pod. Okay, that's it. That's the last time I'm going to say off pod. What do they win if I say off pod?
I don't know. I still have yet to see the duck drop down and give you $100.
I made chicken noodle soup today.
Yeah. How was it?
For myself. It was excellent.
Good.
It was really good. I mean, nothing's better than your soup. And I don't want to get in an argument with someone in the previous part of my life. I don't know why I'm protective, but your soup there's no better soup than your soup. And so that means your soup's better, because when the soup's delivered, then you feel like you're really made out with something.
Right.
Your life was saved.
My soup timing is excellent.
Yes. It's always time for soup, as far as I'm concerned. But we had bought chicken, and Susan made a chicken coriander dish, and she had, for some reason, when you buy chicken now, they only send you too much chicken. I mean, I know you can order it less, but somehow the chicken breasts are huger than... Mommy, Daddy. Mommy,
back.
Daddy. Uncle Tanus?
Yes.
What's that one actor that I always ask you about? I wish I could remember his name. He does that sound. It's like, whiz. Oh, yeah. Do you know what I'm talking? Is the name of that actor familiar to you?
Yes.
Oh, so is it somebody that so it's a name of that guy's name you can recall at any time, right? I mean, that's an actor that I shouldn't even know his name, right?
I would hope so.
Oh, I thought you were going to give me another yes.
No. How did you?
So disappointed, Josh. Really, Andy?
Are you?
Yeah, but he wasn't able to, he couldn't play like a psychiatrist, that guy, could he?
Yes.
Doctor, I'm so glad you found time to see me, because I feel like I'm suicidal. I don't know. Should I commit suicide?
Oh, may I help you?
Oh, my God. We are getting to the level of radio comedy, or whatever that was. The golden age.
Sure.
We're
up to Frank Nelson.
That's another name. I hear it. I don't know what it means. Hey, there's like a race.
It's the guy. It's the guy we were just talking about.
And I just forgot his name. I just forgot his name too. I couldn't.
Yes.
Dennis Wilson?
No.
Also, when I got online today, I started to get depressed because I didn't know who someone said, I love my cousin Eddie. And then I knew that I would say, who's my cousin Eddie? And then you would get angry at me for not remembering the stuff I did on the show last week.
Okay, we'll just listen to the very beginning of last week's show and you'll find cousin Eddie.
Hey, wait, is it related to Crazy Eddie?
No, listen for like 1 minute, and you'll hear what comes in, and then you can.
You don't want not now though.
No,
right?
report back on Wednesday.
Okay, because sometimes you'll give me an assignment, and I'll go do it immediately.
No, freeze up! Oh God, panic! It's literally the first minute of the show last week. So
let me see, Cousin Eddie. Yeah. I think it's. Can I predict it? And then later on, you'll see if I'm right.
Yeah.
I think I say that I'm not me. I'm my Cousin Eddie.
Yes.
Is it true?
It's true. I think the first minute was a good clue.
Well, now I can tell my therapist tomorrow that the memory is not. It's not completely left me.
Yeah. Do you remember what the character was? That was the character question.
Okay, I think the character was me trying to pretend I wasn't me.
All right.
And I was my Cousin Eddie,
right.
But I don't remember anything else about it. Okay. So maybe I'll be so happy.
You will. You should listen.
People tell me I'm very good on the show.
You really are. You're half the reason to tune in.
I'm the natural. They say I'm a natural.
In fact, I'd say you're at least 53% of the reason to tune in.
Ooh, that's not what my contract says.
No, the contract says just bring 10%. But
I have to say something to you. Honestly, or dishonestly, is that we have some good reviews. I mean, I haven't read all the reviews, but we're like highly rated.
Yeah, I think that has to do with us asking people to leave nice ratings on the thing at the end of the show.
So, is the 4.9 one angry person or a couple of angry people?
It's probably a couple.
Do you ever read those?
Yeah, I've read. I don't go back and read old ones, but I check for new ones every few weeks.
I'm just asking you, Josh, what's the name of the fella who's fucked up our 5.0 rating?
I don't know. Scroll down.
Yeah, okay. Don't try and protect him.
And you can ruin his podcast rating.
There seems to be, here's one of my deep thoughts from Jack Andy or something, is that a lot of what's going on here is superficial. Not on our show, but I'm talking about social media.
Yeah, I think there's something to that, Jack.
I went, you know how Facebook's, no, you don't remember, but like Facebook, you go there, they're constantly trying to get you to do something. But one of the things is they say, memories, you said this then, right?
Right.
Remember when you said this?
Yeah.
Well, I looked at about 40 of those.
Right.
And your
whole life is you going, remember when I said this? Oh, shit.
Yes. And I say no thank you. I say no thank you to whoever I was angry at, Ken Cuccinelli or whoever. Yeah. Whoever asshole I was angry at the time. It's not worth, thank God there's no print actually involved with it, because that's a waste of time what I was doing there.
Yeah.
Thank God now everything I say is gold.
It's a pearl.
So that's what happened. I had to tell you that. I had something else that happened this weekend that was similar to you. Maybe if I had jotted it down, it would have been good. And I made the soup.
I made a brisket this weekend. I made a damn good brisket this weekend.
This is your second time making brisket recently, right?
Second one recently. It's probably, I think it's my fourth brisket overall. Maybe fifth. And, Andy, every brisket's different once you get it on there.
I believe that.
They all have their own little fickle personality in the cook.
And you've told me, but what kind of meat do you use? I always forget.
It's a brisket.
No. That's not the cut of the meat.
Yes, it is.
Come on. Stop it. I understand what you made. Tell me what the cut of the beef is called. New York steak?
Dum-dum chunks?
Chuck round? So it's a brisket. You buy a brisket cut? Does that mean it could be made out of pork? No, it's always beef, right?
It's a beef brisket, yes. It's brisket of beef. It's basically the pectoral muscle of the cow.
And so it's always, so that's roast, it's kind of, the difference between that and roast beef is how much it's cooked? Or is that
No, they're
simplistic?
They're radically different cuts of meat.
Wow! You know stuff.
Well,
Josh, I mean, you really do.
Like the prime rib is a very tender select, a bona fide, a wanted piece of meat. Whereas
that's true.
Whereas the brisket and other cuts, tough cuts, like this is a real, the brisket is a load-bearing muscle. So that's why it's, you need to cook it low and slow to break down all the tissue.
You are.
And that's why, that's why barbecue exists, is a way to make shitty cuts of meat delicious.
Well, I was watching a cooking show and they said it's called, sometimes called peasant, like Jewish cooking is also called peasant food.
Yeah, it's the same thing, except for it was slaves, largely.
Hey, keep it down, Josh. Keep it down.
But, it was people who weren't getting the good cuts of meat and trying to make, good things out of them.
Right.
Like, corned beef is a brisket as well.
Yeah, this is where I'm even surprised.
Pastrami is generally a brisket, although there's a more bellyish one apparently that is used for pastrami as well.
This is why I can't believe I've achieved even adulthood, because there's so many things in life I know so little about. Like corned beef to me was a separate animal. It had rye bread coat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Roast beef is roast beef. Pastrami, I don't know what the hell that is, but it's good.
Right.
But I have a problem with, I have a problem with the concept of pork, with pork, because when you cook it, it's gray sometimes. Am I making it sense? I used to think it was like the barbecue pork for the Chinese restaurant was really barbecued that way.
Yeah, no.
But that's not the color.
No, that's dyed, first of all.
Right. Right. So what is it that, so why? So
but the red is a smoke ring. The red the red ring around the gray meat, hopefully not gray, but it can get that way if it's overdone.
Right.
But the red ring is literally a smoke ring.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not saying, well, you went to Hong Kong. If I had gone to Hong Kong, I understand with a load bearing. I don't even know what you're saying, really. A load bearing, what'd you call it? A load bearing tortoise?
A load bearing muscle, meaning that.
What are you talking about? You're saying you're eating an arm? Is it arm?
Well, for a cow, it's holding up 60% of its weight standing on its front legs, though that muscle. So that muscle works really hard as opposed to something in the side of the body that, doesn't get a lot of work and remains tender.
See, makes total sense now to me. But I don't want to think that much about the food. Here's my question to you. You don't have to answer.
It's just the leap. Once you start becoming a cook, you start learning why foods start doing what they do and what you have to do to them to make them good.
Yeah. Yes. I don't want you to judge me, but I had sex with a pork cutlet once.
Really?
In military school, or
6 months later, it acted like it didn't even know me.
That's the worst part. I know that's a Bill Bauer joke, and every time I think of it, it kills me. Tell me that joke again.
The problem with having sex with animals is you see them a year later and they act like they don't even know you. R.I.P. Wild Bill Bauer.
That is some great stuff. Holy To me, that is so... The person of the point of view of that joke, I don't think it's anything funnier in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm over it now.
All right.
Oh, now I remember. I had to do, and I'm still not done, I had to do a voiceover. They're doing a virtual JFL festival.
Oh, they are?
Not with any new material.
Yeah.
They're just going to play stuff from previous years.
Okay.
So they had me introduce the clips from the state of the industry and introduce other stuff from the Alt show.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about you because it just was driving me crazy. And what was driving me crazy was that it does not have to be as hard as I make it.
Yeah. That's across the spectrum with you, though.
That's true. That's event fright.
Yes,
but you said those things. But you told me.
I knew that would stick.
It sticks. It's in my. I love it. I mean, it's concise. Right. Describes it. Yes. And it doesn't judge it like, oh, you're scared to perform something. No, you're scared of any event.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, you could say, I'm watching all the years of the 90 Day Fiancé. That's not event fright. That's not event fright.
No.
I can watch
There's
that.
other things to be afraid of in that scenario, but not event.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, 6 months from now, you start to get a delayed depression.
Right.
But, but it's because you said, well, why does it bother you when you do it? You know what I'm talking about? We have to do 8 lead-ins to this thing, and welcome back. You're listening to the hoo-hoo thing.
No, I didn't.
You find that annoying too, you told me.
I don't recall saying that.
Come on. I feel like the movie Modern Romance. Come on, we're men. Let's have a bond.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't like any task. So
that's what it is. But it's really started to get me. It really started to. It's amazing to me how I'll let something that is completely unimportant. I mean, it's not completely unimportant, but it's something really not to be that afraid of, or that to be. It shouldn't be something you dread,
right?
That much, And then, but I don't know what my point is.
Well, I mean, and the other thing that you should embrace is that your comedic persona is sloppy and self-conscious.
Well, you're absolutely right. But Susan gave me a really good note. She says, I can't hear what you're saying, but and she said, you try less hard, because I was a little bit in DJ department. I was a little bit. Maybe I should think about what's the way for me to remember the email interview person. I don't want to do that again.
Yeah, don't tap into that guy.
Yeah, don't tap him. So then when she said that, I was like, oh, just really basically. Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
pretend it's a Zoom call.
Yes, but then I get into this thing where I say, this is so easy. Why are you not doing this? You purposely don't want to do it because it's too easy. All you're just saying is, for nearly the last 25 years, I've been giving the State of the Industry address at the Just for Laughs Festival in Montreal. And how did it start? I did the Hack's Handbook for National Lampoon. But in other words, I did 60 takes of those, none of which worked.
Right. Yeah, because it's not inherently funny.
Right. And then if you try and make it funny, I can make it funny, right, but those jokes aren't necessarily that funny.
Right.
Okay, I came up with this joke. I'm bringing you the Just for Laughs Virtual Comedy Festival. Just for Laughs, it's virtually funny. That was my joke.
Okay. All right.
Virtually hilarious. So anyway, how good could a joke like that be after the third time?
But at the beginning of a podcast thing, it's perfectly good.
Right. So I'm saying I had 3 or 4 of those, right, but I still feel like I got to do more.
Right.
I got to give them, I want them to get this and go, how does this fucking guy do it?
Right. It is for a comedy festival, so it's like extra pressure.
Right. Oh boy. But anyway, I was going to tell you right before this that I think what happens is that when the world gets more horrible, which it seems to be getting, like when the thing is I feel like every day the whole thing could explode.
Yeah.
Then these stupid things become even more obstacles. And that just gets me depressed. Why do I really have to drag myself around the house like an idiot?
Well, at least you didn't, I mean, but think of it this way. It's like in other times for something like that, you would have had to drive to Hollywood to someone's studio.
That's true.
And you would have dreaded that. You would have dreaded that for an extra 3 days.
What you're saying, and that's the thing that's amazing, is that if you want to, you can always find a reason to criticize yourself.
Yes.
Or you could, if I ever said in my life I didn't have enough time, I never really had a job that I had to work that hard at, but it's like, even when I have all the time in the world and I don't do something, then I have to look at, it's not about how much time I have in the world. So I think one thing I'm trying to do is slow down. Because when I speed up, Oh man, that's when I start speeding up and I start going, I got to get this done by this time or whatever. It's all fake.
Yeah, well, I think to be fair to yourself, you don't have to assign a character flaw to every fucking action either.
That's it. Right.
There's nothing wrong with doing 60 takes of a thing. It just wasted your time, which wasn't particularly precious that day. So it's like you didn't hurt anybody else by doing that. You wanted to get it right, and so yeah, sure, it took a long time, but it doesn't make you a bad person or an idiot.
I agree with you. And I also would say that in a certain way, the time is fiction. The time is an illusion that I've saved all this time over the years. I don't think I've saved any time by speeding up.
No,
because it's like,
for sure not.
I'm sure. It's like, am I really that upset about doing multiple takes? No, I do multiple. It takes me a couple times to open up a can of soda or something.
Right. Yeah. No, a ball, if the ball that comes from the top of the pinball machine and goes straight down, it still rolls slower than the one that bounces, goes pings the pinball and comes down.
That's true.
Bumper to bumper. It's not that great an analogy. I could have done that. I had better flow.
I always assumed that, but it's also true. I always assumed that I didn't get what you were saying or what Susan's saying or what a lot of people are saying because I wasn't listening.
Yeah.
And I think that's not that I wasn't listening. I wasn't listening well enough.
I wasn't really saying it well, so we never had a chance with that. And I'm not going back. So
don't go back. But I just want to make it. I just want to say that the argument could always be made that I wasn't listening well enough.
Yeah.
But also, why am I trying to win an award? Why do I want your approval so much?
I don't know. I think you're in.
Okay, now I have your approval.
Yeah.
That doesn't make me have more stuff to talk about.
No, exactly.
Oh, he's not.
I'm not. The thing is, it's a weird thing because I'm not against you wanting my approval. I would prefer to approve of everything you do, but
exactly.
Hey, speaking of virtual conventions, I did a panel for virtual Comic-Con that we had to keep secret for a couple of weeks. But it's Joel Hodgson, myself, and Bill Corbett doing a Mystery Science Theater panel.
Has it been played already?
It's been recorded already, but it has not been.
Oh, that's fun. And how did it go?
It was good. It was painless, I guess, is the as good as you can get with those sorts of things.
Well, how many times did somebody say, I know we're having a little bit of a delay?
It wasn't too bad. It was a pretty tight Zoom.
Yeah. I think that if you looked at, if there was someone who had a computer or an algorithm way of saying all the things that we were doing before this happened that we really don't need to do, I would say we would save a lot of energy in the world if we did a certain percentage of things that were virtual. But I don't know. I'm not an inventor, obviously.
Yeah.
But I do think, the only example I can think of is I don't ever want to. I would hope that in the future I can not have to drive in to do some radio stuff or interviews, because it seems like that does seem like a lot of wasted energy that you could do from home.
Yeah, although, good audio is good audio.
I wish I could come up with some philosophy that would be interesting. You know what I mean? I come up with a thing, I go, in my mind I'm saying, this is going to be good that this happened, because everybody will change everything and we'll have less flying around, and then we'll realize we don't need to fly around so much.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But maybe it doesn't fit that neatly into anything, or maybe I've gotten nothing.
No, I think there's a little bit of each. I think there are some jobs that have proven so steadfastly that they can be done remotely that they probably won't go back. But
I see, yeah. But
live entertainment via remote anything isn't a substitute for live entertainment.
True. Have you seen my act? It's a little bit better when you're remote. Well, it's better, I'm saying. Yeah, but that's the thing that that's the thing that they say it happens once in a lifetime, but why does it have to be in our lifetimes? I'm very, very wondering now if we're going to make it. You might make it because you're younger.
Yeah, no, I think we'll make it, You
do?
I do. It's not, it's going to be fucking ugly for a while.
Why?
We just went back a step here in LA today, and
yeah,
and they decided schools aren't opening in the fall here in LA, and so it's pretty much all right, as I sort of suspected. It's it's
this is
2020 at home.
But yeah, that's true. I did not see, even that's the thing that's so annoying about it. Even under the best of conditions, I can't see how we would have been up and running in the fall. But to be on top of it, having to argue with a madman who we have to hear about his news reports. Oh, he put a mask on today. He didn't. I don't care what he puts on his stupid face.
Yeah, he's just a fucking evil maniac. Jesus Christ.
And this is beyond, and I think it's beyond George Orwell, because it seems like it's like George Orwell. There was first of all, maybe I should read 1984. But it's even beyond that. They just, this woman lies. He has this person. Everyone is lying on his side of the ball. Every single statement out of their head.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done.
No,
I realize that.
I mean, there's just no. I mean, there's no. Yeah. If you're in the camp, there's no disentangling from it.
Yeah, but I think now he's going to lose. But what's the point of even thinking about it? Just let's get through this.
Let's just get it over.
Let's just get it over with.
I just wish I could sleep for 4 months.
But here's one thing I'm thinking. What I wanted to say. I right now have no excuses. And I don't want to say no excuses, to not take my time with everything and not do many, many things that I'd like to do of many different formats.
Right.
And I'm saying it reaches a limit or something. Like, that's not how my mind feels. My mind feels like, the slowing down part's good.
Yeah, well, but it's like, I'm in a whole different spot than you right now, but I'm in sort of a postpartum depression mode.
You mean because of the
movie, just, after years of fucking.
Oh well, we should have talked about this. Well, how did it go?
I mean, I think it's gone well. You never know. You don't know the numbers for weeks or months, but the one thing that did go wrong was, remember the story about how I saved the wrong version from going out?
Right.
Yeah, I didn't.
You mean the entire nation?
Well, no, like several like it's on Amazon Prime, it's correct. But some of the vendors got the wrong one and are using that, and it's not my fault. So that's all I can do, and it doesn't hurt, it takes a moment out of the movie and then there's a different one there. So I don't feel like, I mean, the movie's the movie. Either the way. But if you saw it and you saw him playing acoustic guitar at the end during the credits, that's not correct. But if you saw Steven Van Zandt during the credits, that's correct. So,
if you saw Michael Day Barr playing acoustic guitar during the credits,
yes,
that's not the version we want you to see.
No. But I was fine with it until Steven Van Zandt came along.
But that's the thing too. It's like, I would only be nervous that he'd be angry. How come I wasn't in?
Yeah, well, so far he hasn't gotten wind, apparently. But so please, listeners, don't rat me out.
Don't rat him out, and also
because Steven Van Zandt has been he's tweeted like 5 times about my movie.
Which version?
His, I assure you.
I don't know why I laughed at that.
No,
That's
it was
stupid.
funny. It was a good shot.
Well, don't forget, you're the one who laughed while I was crying and thought that was a great bit.
No, I thought it was. I laughed at
hanging up.
I laughed at the thought of hanging up. That's what I laughed at.
That does bring me joy.
Yeah,
it brings me joy. You just have a whimpering.
I was not laughing at your pain or your misery. I was laughing at the evil thought of thinking it'd be pretty funny to hang up right now.
The whimpering Jew is reaching his crescendo I just don't feel. I lost family. They're gone. God, I sound like Jonathan Winters. They're gone. God damn it.
But
come on, I almost have a voice of Matt.
it was whiny, yeah. But no, the reaction to the movie has been fantastic.
That's really great. Now that is all you really want.
And Copy. Well, not all. I mean, most people are writing to praise Michael to him, but but I look so. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's good news.
Yeah.
But you're feeling about like what's next during the time period where everything is
well, it's the normal what's next feeling that I would have no matter what, amplified by I don't even know what my options are.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Well, thank God we're making a lot of money in this podcast.
Yeah, that really does help. Hey, we have had some very nice people giving us coffee, and we appreciate the hell out of them.
Thank you very much. Now, I don't know if people know this. Josh won't let me see any of the money because of the thing with the thing.
That's right. No, and because I'm not unwilling to do the accounting. I haven't spent a dime of it.
Well, look, that's what Billy Joel said. And then the next thing is
I know you can feel free to audit my books.
Hey, is that how the kids are calling it now? Mm-hmm. Now, you see what I just did? That personality? That's the personality that Susan would like to drown in a tub.
that's the one that she says don't try so hard with?
I'm just trying so hard with stupid
it's hard,
jokes.
This man hasn't had an audience in front of him in 4 months, for God's sakes.
She didn't say that she wanted to drown me in the bathtub.
No, I think it's implied, though.
It's implied. Because it's like Sticky Stickman is here. It's like the Catskills. Where you from, darling?
Someone wrote me today. Here, I'll go to the letter, in fact. It was Stephen Lefebvre wrote, Josh, has it ever occurred to you that some of us are fans of Andy Kindler and his comedic stylings? What were you expecting when you started a podcast with him? I mean that sincerely. It's not a rhetorical question. Were you expecting not First Thought Theater?
Did you write this? Are you posing?
I did not. This is Stephen Lefebvre, and my answer
we
is:
know Stephen Lefebvre.
If you think I'm annoyed by Andy, you should see his wife.
It's true. That's
loving
really
Andy and being annoyed by Andy are not mutually exclusive things. Right. In fact, they are necessary companions as far as I'm concerned.
Well, that's the thing too, and I think Stephen is probably hasn't been around me long enough to really see how obnoxious it is.
All right, thank you. And then he actually wrote 2 emails. I'll read you the other one too.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
When you promoted Who Do You Want Me to Be on the show, you admonished us creative types to complete our projects before starting new ones. And I'm working on it, okay? I'm working on it. But in the 10 years you spent working on this documentary, you engaged yourself in different projects, not the least of which is this podcast. How do you strike a balance between projects?
Oh, that's kind of a cool thing.
Well, I mean, first of all, I was saying last week that as someone who preaches finishing stuff, and not so much saying don't do more than one thing, but don't do stuff that you're not going to finish, is my point.
Right. That's true.
In this case, I pretty much thought I had finished 5 years ago.
Yes.
And at that point, it became a process of paperwork and waiting for answers from people on music rights, which took years. And so I had no choice but to do other things. But had I had my druthers and creatively, this movie was done 5 years ago. I added the fantastic Steven Van Zandt thing this year, but which some of you will see. Get it on Amazon Prime until further notice is that's my note.
Okay, I will remember that too. But the other thing is that you're giving advice as someone who suffers from procrastinophobia.
No, but it's not that. It's much more. I know plenty of people who have work ethics who aren't willing to finish their shit.
Oh. I never thought about it that way.
And how many people do you know who've been working on a screenplay for decades? And how many people,
Right. Yeah. Well, but there's also...
And my point is just really, it's just like you haven't done the thing until you've done the thing. And part of doing the thing is finishing it and getting it into the world.
I think the point you're making is very important because even if you get it in the world on any level, whatever level that means, sending out a book
but part of the creative, I just believe that part of the creative process is finishing.
Right. Right.
Is being able to say it's done.
Yes.
And I think it's a crucial part of the creative process. I'm not saying the other parts aren't worthwhile, but I do think that, it is part of the project.
Right. But I know why people drive. That's when I was doing these voiceovers the other night. I know why. It's like I know why people drive themselves crazy, because even I, after doing all these things, why would that? Why am I setting it up to be such an obstacle? It just never. It kind of never goes away if you don't want it to go away. In a way, I don't know what I'm saying, Josh. What am I saying? Can you distill it down?
I think what you're saying is no matter how much you think you want to do creative things, there's still plenty of mental blocks in the way to keep you from committing to it.
Right. And that's the thing, too. It's like when people – it's like the classic thing that we always experience is people who say – I don't know if people say, I want to do stand-up. How you get that, I want to do stand-up. And to me, it's like that's a thing that is more about a struggle with your – it's the struggle with you. It's the what is it when something is like not iconic, but it's like a fundamental thing that you go through. Am I good enough to do something?
Right. But you just can't, you can't have respect for I really want to do this over and over.
No.
You just can't.
No,
and with stand up, it's like if you're asking, you shouldn't do it.
That's true. I guess what I'm saying is I see a lot of comics who are that way too. They're even because I was that way too. And sometimes you're like, you're starting to you do a thing and then you go, how did it go? Well, you're still focusing on the results, but not to the degree of the people who say they're going to do stand up, but never. That may be a specific disease people have.
No, I think it's all sorts of I think there's plenty of people who think they should write a book too,
Right. So not so much in the opera field where people go, I wish I did.
Well, it's just the thing that when you start to frame it as a failure before you even start.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's what you're doing by going, I should do stand up, but I don't know if I'll, Then you should, you have to be compelled to do it as far as I'm concerned because it sucks.
That's true. I guess I've been listening back to some of my old music stuff and I'm thinking to myself, like, my voice is not bad. It's not bad like I thought it was bad. So my issue has always kind of been not what the reality that's going on, but how I'm thinking about the reality.
Right.
That's going on.
No, you're worried about what people will think more than what they're thinking.
Right. And that can be a real block on any artist.
Yeah, of course.
So
that's what keeps people from finishing things.
Right. So that's why I think that your advice is good advice because it can push somebody from the, you know what I mean? Like it's a simple thing of like finish it. That's like the actual act of finishing it. So I'm not saying we should teach an online class because I don't have anything to teach, but I'm in support of that.
Well, and I just believe, and especially because of this 8-year odyssey with this movie, it's a toxin. Having something uncompleted that should be is a toxin.
Yes. It's the same thing and I'll say the same thing with the album.
Yeah.
My album.
It's of course it is. And
that was a toxin.
For sure
that you often, when nothing else was going on and things were going slow for you and you need to pick yourself up, you might say, hey, the album, when's it coming out? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. And now neither of us have the weapon.
I know, but it's boy, was that a load on my back. Was that monkey on my back?
Yeah.
And that's how you know what happens after. It doesn't matter because what happens after is like, I'm just so glad that it's out there.
But that was the difference is that I didn't understand, I can't understand with the album
Yeah.
there weren't external obstacles. Like, I had all of my obstacles for the movie were external obstacles.
Well, that only makes what you went through more rational.
Well, I'm just saying it makes my mocking of you more rational.
Yeah, I'm quite aware that all of the enemies are within myself. I mean, not enemies. But
I mean, obviously they're all 90% of all our enemies are within, unless you have actual enemies.
Right. But I really, before therapy even, I think therapy was what changed me into thinking that if people around me aren't perfect, then it's up to me to cut off their relationship with them.
It's reflecting poorly on you.
Yeah. And then also, I then was not allowed to be a person who could have any irrational. It was like a perfect storm of like being paralyzed.
Yeah.
From what was I saying, Josh?
It was a little meandering for me to go back and put a real fine point on it, but I think let's just go with you're better now.
But here's the thing. Ultimately, I do believe my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies, Ordinary People. He has a catharsis. He remembers that his brother actually let go of his hand, and so he could let go of the feeling that he's responsible for his brother's death.
Right.
I think I'm going to come to the realization that my constant spacing out is the result of one trauma, and then I'm going to come back into some kind of new existence where I won't space out every second.
Well, that sounds like magical thinking to me.
That sounds like a person who really, in a way, I feel like I really did project life onto sitcoms and movies.
That sounds like a person waiting for a MacGuffin to save him.
Is that a golf thing? It's a golf thing, right?
No, it's not.
Oh, what is it then?
You're thinking of a mulligan.
Oh, I don't know what a MacGuffin is.
MacGuffin is the object in a plot of a story that is the object of desire. Like,
I've never heard that in my life.
The Doomsday Machine is the MacGuffin that James Bond would be chasing after, or the
wow.
Yes.
That's not a word that everyone knows, Josh. That's a New Yorker. You're introducing New Yorkers level words.
No, I don't think I am, Andy. It's more.
I'll give you a mulligan.
It's more common.
So you're gonna switch from that personality into you can't even believe I haven't heard of it.
Well, that's kind of in the territory of when Greg Kinnear said to Casey Kasem, "What's a Stradivarius?"
I see what it is, and I still can't quite remember it. It's a MacGuffin.
MacGuffin, yes.
Yeah, but that's not something a civilian uses, is it?
Well, if they're talking about movies.
I swear to God, I think you're playing.
I don't know if Hitchcock came up with it, but he spoke of it.
All right.
Look up MacGuffin, and you'll see that there's more than one entry, and you'll go.
You mean look it up now?
No, after I hang up.
MacGuffin. Can you explain what a MacGuffin is?
Yes, a MacGuffin you see in most films about spies. It is the thing that the spies are after. In the days of Rudyard Kipling, it would be the plans of the fort on the Khyber Pass. Mm-hmm. It would be the plans of an airplane engine and the plans of an atom bomb, anything you like. It's always called the thing that the characters on the screen worry about, but the audience don't care. Mm-hmm. And someone asked, what is a MacGuffin? And it's described in a scene in an English train going to Scotland, and one man says to the other opposite him, he said, what's that package above your head there? And the other man said, oh, that's a MacGuffin. He said, well, what is a MacGuffin? He said, well, it's an apparatus for trapping lions in the Scottish Highlands. Man said, but there are no lions in the Scottish Highlands. He said, then that's no MacGuffin.
Good evening. How are you, sir?
I'm okay. How are you?
I don't know. I guess it's impossible to answer the phone.
Hello's okay. You can go back. Yeah. You can go back to old days.
Okay, I'll try that. You want to try it? I mean,
you don't have to do it like, pretending like you don't really know who it is, like the old days.
Huh? Oh, right. Hello. Well, how'd that sound? How would that sound?
Hello?
Yeah, that's what's so hard. Those days were horrible.
Yeah.
Because you're already sounding like they already got you.
No caller ID.
Yeah.
Your phone was nailed to the wall, so you had to stand there.
You had to go to the TV to turn it. Oh. That's right. It actually was nailed to the wall. I forgot. I thought you were doing an exaggeration joke.
No.
But there wasn't. Not in your lifetime, though. You had nice rotary phones. You never had a phone against the wall. Yes, maybe it did.
We had one phone that was wall bound.
My brother and I were commiserating over when we got the color TV.
Yeah.
We both remembered it.
What was the commisery about it?
We weren't the first people. That wasn't the misery, but just like remembering how exciting it was. Just the greatest thing. So
you're more reminiscing than commiserating.
One man's commiserating is another man's. Oh God! I sometimes if I get disgusted even before I start saying the first two words, what do you do then?
Yeah, I don't know. If it's you, you comment.
Oh, that's right, because you have said, and I'll say it again, he says it once, it's not funny. He says it 3 times, not so funny. And then, no matter what it is, you have
bastardized this so badly at this point.
I know. He turns it around, and then when you say, I wish I could choke the living life out of him, I hate him. I hate everything about him. I hate the way he's needy. Boom! Then he turns it around, says something funny.
Yeah, I guess that's more in the spirit of mine.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to. I'm not a kind of person who says quote unquote. I'll tell you that. I'm sorry about that last one.
How was your day, Andy?
My day was pretty good. I think it was good. Yeah. I think I went for a walk, so it was good. That good. Part was very good.
You took advantage of the available options.
Also got the mail too. And now my thing about the mail is I have mail that comes to a box.
I do know that.
Yeah, and I probably said it many times, and people probably write in about it. What does the box look like? Is it made of cheese?
Is it Jaime that works at the box?
Jaime.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jaime. That's right. So, are you making whipped cream?
Yes, I'm making whipped cream.
No, that wasn't the sound either. Are you getting snow off your windshield?
Yes.
Okay, so here's what happened. I've been deciding to go into the mailbox after hours.
Yeah.
If I can.
So you don't have to see Jaime?
No, I love Jaime. I don't want any COVID. I don't want to be indoors with other people if I can avoid it.
Yeah.
Because that seems to be one of the big... I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to get it just by getting the mail, but, I wish this was more interesting the way I was saying it. But anyway, I'm proud of myself it's a precaution I'm taking that's easy to do.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I know you're not as... would you say you're more not devil-may-care, lackadaisical?
I'm lackadaisical. No. I was trying to think of a way to take this somewhere.
Oh, like your shopping experience or something?
Well, no, I was realizing that that despite the fact that you're very hard on yourself, much harder on yourself than I am on myself.
Right.
You also spend a lot more time proud of yourself than I do.
I wonder if that's true. Well, you mean like braggy in a way, right? Like,
well, just declaring that you're proud of yourself. Like you were proud of yourself for getting your mail late in the after hours.
I think if someone can make the argument that I'm pushing the meaning of the word proud of myself.
Well, but I mean, look how happy you were. Look how happy you were charging your battery last week. You charged a battery, and you were very proud of yourself.
Really? I don't even have a memory of that. That's how. What battery was it?
Your thermostat.
Oh, yes. Well, that required MacGyver level expertise. The kids don't know that MacGyver used to be the big.
They do. They do if they saw my movie.
Oh, that's right. That's exactly right. Because you have old school. You have a MacGyver reference that's legitimate. Because he was in MacGyver. He was on the show MacGyver. He got blown up, right?
More than once. He was the Wile E. Coyote of MacGyver.
Man, see, that's right there. You've been on MacGyver. Now, taking it outside of how comics ruined the reference. See, there's so many things that stand-up comedians ruin that wouldn't be ruined if stand-up comedians hadn't overused it. You know?
Yeah.
Like if stand-up comedy hadn't MacGyver it, then if someone said it every once in a while, you wouldn't want to strangle them.
All right.
Okay, MacGyver? Like that.
Yeah.
God almighty. You, I'm telling you right now, you're off your game tonight. You see I have a new plan, Josh.
Yeah.
Get you before you get me. Whew. What's wrong? So what happened today that you're not doing well on the podcast tonight? Don't hang up on me. We can't.
I could.
I don't want you to hang up on me because we can't do it. I forgot where
we went kind of fat on Monday. I would be okay.
I couldn't. I don't know if you said Wednesday could be a shorter day or Wednesday was going to be hump day.
I think both.
Don't do it. I can't even talk to you anymore. Seriously, Josh, we have to make a pact.
Okay? What's the pact?
You're going to violate, so what's the point?
No, but what's the pact that you're proposing?
The pact is that you just don't hang up on me for about 10 minutes at least.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
I don't trust you.
It's a pact.
Yeah, but
when have I gone back on a pact?
Oh, come on. You're going to leave me like Charlie Brown with the football. Hey, Charlie Brown with the football is the new overused metaphor.
No, it's not the new one.
It's been around for a while.
Oh, yeah.
The monster is the person who points it out, ladies and gentlemen.
Finally, you remember the joke.
I know. Eddie Kindler. I'm Eddie Kindler.
Yes.
I'm Eddie. I'm my cousin Eddie.
Yeah, it's a southern accent.
Oh, that's right. So, how's it going? Hey, you know who, by the way, you know who wants to talk to you?
Who's that?
My cousin Eddie from down south.
I'll put him on. I haven't talked to him in a week or so.
Hold on. Can you hold a second?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you know why I'm saying hold a second?
Because you're turning around.
Right. And when I come back, I will magically be, what? Who wants to talk to me? Talk to me.
It's me. It's me, Eddie Josh.
Well, by golly, by gaga. Well, if a turnip hadn't fallen off back onto the truck, I do declare it is Josh Elvis Weinstein. I can't do the voice. How's it going?
It's Foghorn Jewhorn.
Now, you don't get yourself in trouble like Nick Cannon did.
No, I won't.
All right? Don't Nick. It seems to me that everybody.
I remember when I was a kid and my grandmother sat me down and told me, "Be careful."
Did you get another call?
No.
Because you went out. I heard you said when you were a little boy, your mama sat you down, but I didn't hear what you said. Your grandma sat you down.
I said, I remember when my grandmother sat me down as a child and told me, "Be careful when Jews starts trending on Twitter on a regular basis."
Now, aren't you glad you went back? Because normally you don't want to go back because I haven't heard or I spaced out.
No, but you stayed with it, and I appreciate it.
That's the thing that you don't normally see from me. No one says to you, has anyone ever said to you, have you ever said to somebody, I'll tell you why I love doing the podcast with Eddie, is stick-to-itiveness.
He's such a good listener.
He's such a good listener. And his focus is unbelievable also. And he tells a great story. He tells great stories.
It's Wolfman and Sugar Monkey in the morning.
And now a blast from the thought spiral pass. Can you believe these fuckers at DoorDash took my fucking order away, Josh? My biggest problem 2 years ago, my pizza's cold.
Yeah.
It's cold. If I had only known that the world would end then, or we would be ending soon.
You still would have complained.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a theory about human behavior.
Because how would that make you feel? My pizza's cold, but at least the world's going to end. I think well, God damn it, the world's going to end, and I'm sitting here with cold fucking pizza. Thank you, DoorDash.
Well, I'm not saying that I would have wanted to walk around with any prescience or prescience of that I knew, or someone gave me a hint. In 2 years, everyone's going to get a killer virus. I wouldn't want that.
No, I wouldn't trust you with the future.
But here's what I want. Can I ask can I speak to the My Pillow guy? No. What is happening? How can I get an investigative crew? I don't believe he's made one mask. And I don't know if you've looked into it. But he said on national television, I'm devoting 30% of my production line.
Well, what are you proposing I haven't done?
Well, have you made one mask?
Yes, I've made at least one mask.
No.
Right here in my home state of Minnesota.
I don't care where you made it. You keep, first of all...
I don't like your tone, young man.
Defund the police, Mr. Pillow.
Put on a mask in my place. I hope you brought one.
No, but no joking around. How many have you made? You said you were going to do 30% of your production. I haven't seen one story says my Pillow's masks are coming out. Have saved PPE.
They went that fast. I couldn't. There was no point in advertising them because they flew off the shelves.
You wouldn't lie to me, Mr. Pillow, would you?
No, it was all demand.
Hey, if we ever get to send you to prison, which I really hope you are sent to prison, would you like to go to prison in your own home state of Minnesota again?
I would definitely like to go somewhere near my home state of Minnesota, but I would also like to bring my own pillow.
Hey, now, you weren't in jail when you were addicted to crack, right?
No, I escaped that fate.
Oh, okay. So you did hit rock bottom, though.
Well, sure. Crack rock bottom.
Everything about him, I have no empathy for him as a former crack addict.
One day I had a revelation and God said, you shouldn't be doing crack, you should be doing something dumber.
In a way, you're hurting more people with what you're doing now, right?
I think I am. People with neck problems, they wake up in the morning and it goes,
Hey, you're the My Pillow guy.
Yes, and I'm in your medicine cabinet.
Hey, you stole Chuck McCann's bit.
Hi, guy. Get the fuck out of here, Chuck McCann.
Hey, look, Zuzu.
I'm the right guard now.
Hey, Zuzu, you better pray you get arthritis so you don't poison the world with your terrible piano playing. I'll get the hell out of here. Fuck Christmas. Fuck Christmas, you old stupid savings and loan. You're a stupid old man, my uncle. You're my uncle. I'll kick you in your face. You lost my money. If I could trade you for a savings bond, I would. Goddamn Bannister!
Andy Kindler, and it's not such a good life.
It's not such a good life. Oi, gosh. Forget it. Look, come here. I played violin when I was your age. I stunk. And you stink at the fucking piano. Now get the hell out of here before Daddy... I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going too far. I'm going too far now.
No, you're in the pocket. I was with you all the way.
Well, you know what else I'm very happy with? I'm very happy with my comedic interviewing skills.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, that's an example.
Yeah, very proud of yourself.
You would not point it out.
Very proud of yourself.
Exactly.
You've been proud of yourself 3 times since I brought it up.
You know what? And you know what? That makes me feel proud of myself.
Exactly.
That I'm feeling proud of myself now more than I'm feeling negative towards myself.
That's good.
I don't hate. It's like when Stuart Smalley told Michael Jordan, I know you don't think you're going to be able to hit the next basket. That was my favorite one. Andy, please don't exit out of obnoxious guy to recalling your favorite bits on Saturday Night Live. Please don't. Okay.
Go to a third.
Yeah. Go to Optima Tax. Don't get me started on Optima Tax.
I won't. Lord knows.
Have you seen?
You can't. No one can get you started on taxes. Touche. You know what? I got stuff out from the East Coast. I still have a couple of more boxes to go through, but I did get. I threw out, or I'm giving away every album that I had. Oh yeah.
But I did have My Son, the Folk Singer, but there's no album inside.
Oh damn.
I said, oh, you know, I bet Josh would love this cover. And I said, why would he want the cover?
It's sort of purple with yellow writing. It's Alan Sherman with a guitar, and there's like deli food on a Roman column pedestal.
If you want it, it's yours, free.
No, I think I have one somewhere.
You have it, right?
Yeah.
Now, if it had an album in there, maybe that'd be fun.
Yeah, but I don't have a turntable that works anymore. So
I know, but people love it. They go, oh, have you heard it on vinyl? No, but I have it on vinyl. Even just having it on vinyl, I feel is better.
Yes.
Actually, I did look at.
I listened to that album so many times when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too. That's why. Well, it's not so surprising. It's not in the sleeve because it is something that would have been left in my mother and father's Victrola.
All right.
You know. But I now know what I now, you know, I remember what I have, but I have no interest in keeping the albums anymore.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. The difference in the data availability,
yeah,
is worth any sort of nostalgic scratching and popping sound you might long for.
Well, but don't think I'm not going to buy a reel-to-reel so I can hear my reel-to-reel copies of Iron Butterfly,
right?
That I made when I was 12. I can't believe I've lost that. We did lose that tape recorder, and also I can't believe how much we used it. Like we use it all the time. I recorded, you know, with just conversation. It's almost like, you know, not to the point with Howard Stern and his father, which are amazing ones.
Right.
But we loved it. It was like an odd thing that we were fascinated by it.
Yeah, I'm so surprised you like the sound of your own voice.
Hey, get that guy Ken Lefevre back for me. Rob Lefevre, get that email back up. Look, you knew going in what the style of Andy
Some of us
was.
like Andy.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about this? Some of us enjoy his comedy. Hey, look, do we have to pay for the fact that you're tired of him? Yes, you do.
Some of us aren't down to their last nerve with Andy.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is that you have not that you have my best interest at heart, but you don't have my worst interest at heart.
No, of course I have your best interest at heart. I don't have your best feelings at heart, but I have your best interest at heart.
That's true. You got me. You know what I'm talking about, and you got my back.
Yeah.
As they say.
Exactly.
Oh, God. I know I shouldn't root for COVID, which I'm not going to, but the fact, it's just unbelievable that every one of these Republican Southern idiots were, interestingly enough, wrong.
Yeah. And continue to be, steadfastly.
And continue.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I lost you again. I'm so scared. I have to take a workshop now. I really do. I mean, I can't take the rejection, Josh.
You have pre-traumatic stress disorder.
Here's my notes. I put this, I came up with a new thing. I have my therapy notes and my podcast notes.
And if they ever get mixed up, imagine.
Hey, you know, Stephanie, I really have to talk to you about my penis not working so much. I mean, what's up with that? My penis is so soft that my wife thought it was a pillow. Andy, this is very... Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Oh, I wanted to remind you that I had an anecdote. I bought some coffee from Rob Beans and ordered you a 12-ounce thing.
You did?
Yeah.
You big sack of sugar.
Come on. And I ordered more, and I really like it. I'm very excited about it. And I'm not looking for a discount. I just was very excited about it.
I enjoyed my Rob Beans. I'm looking forward to my next batch. I recently cracked a 5-pounder of the Intelligentsia, but...
are you saying it's in a 5-pound bag?
It is. Roasted to order, though.
Oh, man. Wow. Yeah, but not in 5 separate. It'd be better if it was in 5 separate bags, only because I'm a purist.
It's true, but I can reseal it with a sealer. Yeah.
Plus, it doesn't matter what I'm saying, because you make an excellent cup of coffee, what if I never have that again?
Oh.
What if I never get to smell Lucky and hold Lucky close to me? What if, and
well,
what happens then?
That would be okay. That would be all right. But the coffee thing.
I hope when will I get to, but doesn't Lucky, it's like, we may never see people.
I think you will.
I am going crazy, though. I'm going crazy.
This week, for me, the problem is crushing boredom.
Yeah. Well, because you had a big week last week, your thing came out.
Yeah.
And so...
And I don't have it. I have nothing impending. Other than, like guesting on someone's podcast or something, but... it's, and I don't know. I can't get anything started because I have no idea what I'm doing. Or what the world
It really is. It really is the weirdest thing. And I hate to brag that I'm close to retirement age.
Yeah, you're one of the lucky ones.
I may be able to retire.
Yeah.
And, what's the advantage of that?
Your pension?
I guess so, but it's like if the whole thing comes crashing down, I know I'm going to get into a fist fight with someone over at the SAG-AFTRA bank.
Probably not.
No. I really think there is a certain amount, especially if you suffer from OCD, but even if you don't suffer from OCD, there's a certain amount where you know that you can't control it, so you hope that you can just not go that far in your mind.
Yeah, well,
there's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's the comfort is you aren't failing.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, and I don't mean you. I mean me too.
Yeah.
There's that certain thing of like, well, all you can do is the best you can because there's nothing for me to even fail at right now. You know?
Right. I have missed a couple of appointments, like just even like two of my friends were talking on Zoom once a week, and we changed the time, and it's like I've never been good at. I don't look at a calendar.
Yeah. And
but I have one. I have a calendar, but then
1967.
It's like I never had ever to need a calendar in the business I was in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you kind of did.
I did, but just like you're here for 5 days and you're there for I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But I never had a thing where I would write down call Schmoopy.
Oh,
today,
sure you didn't. You didn't need a day planner.
That's what I meant. I've had them too.
Yeah.
I didn't use them though.
Sure.
I had them. I had the pages.
Yeah. How many empty diaries do you own?
Well, I did have the day when I was with the Taekwondo, which I started to hate. I started to hate it at the end.
Yeah.
And he had me keep this. It used to drive me crazy. He used to have us keep a day timer thing with and we have to write down all of our workouts.
Then he'd make you play violin.
Oh, God, that was torture. I've done so many torturous things, and then I told Stephanie the other night, I said, but then I realized that Josh, who had a normal upbringing, they still shuttered him off to religious school.
Yeah.
And that's unforgivable, is how I feel about it.
Well, I still haven't forgiven them for it, but I'm
right.
with you. But, no, it was, I was just thinking when you were talking about, like violin and stuff, it's like, that's the only thing that they actually like followed up on their pressure about.
Was what?
Like they didn't have the discipline as parents to make us disciplined,
Oh, right. But they,
so I could pretty much talk him out of anything, but Hebrew school we couldn't talk him out of because it was, but the thing is like everybody my age who was a Jewish friend was doing it. So it wasn't, it wasn't like
yes, it's kind of amazing that you had this enclave.
Yeah.
Because you're younger than me, so why am I thinking? Because I grew up with a lot of Reform Jews that most Jews did. It just makes no sense.
Yeah,
you grew up in
the Twin Cities, it was mostly conservative congregations.
Right, and so that
the majority of synagogues in Minneapolis when I was growing up were conservative,
and so everybody went to this thing.
Yeah,
and what's it called again?
Talmud Torah.
Oh. What am I thinking about with what's the thing where the traditional thing they call when Jews go to you go with
like
that
yeshiva?
Yeshiva, yeah. What's the difference between yeshiva and what you were doing?
Yeshiva is deep and committed study. This is 2 hours of jacking off 3 times a week.
Till how old did you go?
I went until, I think, maybe like 8th grade. I went for the first day and got kicked out of both classes and came home and went, this isn't going to work out, folks.
How did you get kicked out? You were wise ass?
Yeah, I was being funny.
Because it just gets to be like, come on, this is ridiculous at this point.
Well, yeah, and it was a bunch of really ill-behaved, shithead, suburban Jewish kids. And I remember this. The first time I sort of tried to get kicked out, the second class, everyone was being an asshole. And the guy who was an actual rabbi was the teacher of the class. And he like slammed the door and goes, God damn it! And everyone like went, except for me who went,
wow, there's so much contained in that story. It's like you can tell the futility of the job that he had.
Yes. No, it was this weird dead-end Jewish teaching job for a lot of these people. And there was different, there was like very old Jews who like literally taught my parents at Talmud Torah. And then there was like this generation of younger Israeli imports who all had a big fucking attitude.
Like they were, in terms of being a better Jew?
In terms of being a better Jew, in terms of Israeli military like discipline.
You don't need. That's not what you need. That's not your thing.
No, there was a lot of attitude.
Yeah.
So it wasn't fun. I never enjoyed it.
Yeah, but you never did something like stupid, like study the musical instruments 45 years after you.
No, I jumped around from instrument to instrument.
Right. But I think I told you about this. I was talking about that in therapy, where I was like, I convinced myself that I hate the violin, and anything that I would want to do would be like the violin, so I couldn't learn anything because I didn't have discipline.
Right. Instead
of realizing, this is a horrible thing for you, you don't enjoy it, and it's boring.
Right.
So.
Neither, which makes you a bad person, but that's the hard part to get to.
Oh, exactly. But I was just about to snap out of my whatever needy character I was into. Yeah. Oh, no, those are the old days.
Now I'm very proud of myself that I can blah, 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 blah.
One thing I got to tell you, I'm very proud of myself. We were out of paper in the printer. It said that tray two. So Susan goes, I don't know what's going on. I said, hold on, sweetie, hold on. Hold the
old
phone.
Andy would have gone into a fetal position and cried for 4 days. But today, just 2 hours of crying. Then I've changed the paper.
And you know what she said? Thanks, honey.
Nice.
Right? Oh, God. I was going to hang up then. I thought about hanging up about 9:27. I thought about hanging up.
Yeah.
But when I thought about hanging up at 9:27, I know you're trying to do something. I don't care now. If you do it or you don't do it. But what, are you there? No. I know you're there, Jeff. Excellent. That could have been the best prank. That could be the best. And believe me, I'm not saying these are championship level pranks that we're doing or comedy bits. I'm not saying that we're at the level of Dave's not here.
Yeah.
See, I was going to hang up again.
I'm waiting for you to hang up. I took an oath. I'm not hanging up. I'm not hanging up tonight, even though my 10 minutes is more than expired.
But now there's nothing I could do now. There's nothing I can do now. I think I should just say, you know what? It's unbelievable to me. It's not that I even have the yips.
Yeah.
I don't believe I'm capable. I don't believe I'm capable of pranking someone.
You can hang up like a regular person.
Okay.
Frank Nelson, are you on the phone?
Yes.
Yes? You're still doing that for McDonald's.
I'm not just doing it for McDonald's now. I just finished doing it. I did it up until about the 10th of January. And the way I answered you just with the yes, without stretching it or anything, I have to tell you a story about a director that came on the Benny Show at a particular point in time. And so we were sitting around the table reading, and Jack said, "Oh, Mr. And I said, "Yes." And we went on through the thing. And when we were through and going to do the rehearsal on mic, he walked up to me and he said, "Frank, don't do that." And I said, "What?" He said, "Don't do that." I said, "Don't do what?" He said, "Well, you know how you said the yes." He said, "Don't do that." I said, "Oh, all right." So get up there, and Jack said, "Oh, Mister," and I said, "Yes." Jack said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, the director told me not to do that." And Jack turned around, and he said, "Have you ever seen my show or heard my show?" And the director said, "Well, no, I haven't." He said, "Well, he's been doing that for 30 years. That's what I pay him to do."
Take that.
Wow. Huh? Ow, that hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Deal with it. I'm ready to talk.
Yeah, no.
Yes. And you?
I hope it legit hurt.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I see. That's not listening. Hi, Mr. Weinstein.
Should we get to questions?
No, that's it. That's a little harsh.
All right. That's
a little harsh, bro. I'm back.
All right, good.
How are you?
I'm okay.
That doesn't sound like okay.
It just was. I didn't enjoy the week that much.
Oh, okay. What am I going to do? I disagree. Did you ever think it's your own attitude? Look, it's so much fun out there, Josh.
I know. I'm not making lemonade.
Yes. Don't bring the rest of us down. We're all getting psyched. I like Mary Trump's book. I'll tell you that, though. I cannot wait. I'm not going to read it, but I will read it. Maybe I won't. I don't know, but it's great.
I'm reading it.
Yeah. When you say you're reading, are you going to get it physically?
I am getting it physically.
Have you ever tried Kindles and things? I do,
but I like. I tend to. They get lost from my radar there.
I got a year. Maybe you'll be happy about this because it was Jewish and it's Jewish and might help me. I got a year free of Calm Premium for my American Express card.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you going to use it?
I think I already did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it works. It forces you to meditate because you want meditation? Boom, here it is. Sit down, look at the thing, breathe, Notice a thing go in, notice a thing go out. You could press a thing and you could follow your breath that way if even counting your breaths is too much thinking for you.
Yeah.
I'm not getting anything from this, Josh. This is just me and you.
I hope you're getting inner peace from it.
Yes, I am. That was pretty good, right?
My credit card gave me a free membership to Jitter-E.
Oh, is that the same type of thing?
Same sort of thing, except
Oh, you're making it up, right? Yeah. You're making it up.
Jitter-E? What do you think?
Yes, but I just barely believe it's made up. Because I kind of like it. Jitter-E.
Yeah.
No, that's not. No one's going to buy that.
It flashes messages like, where are your keys right now? Things like that.
Are you sure you should be not worrying?
Is the back door locked?
Is the back door locked? Is the back door locked? I can't even turn it. Honey, I can't turn this thing off that asks me if I've checked the front door again. Have you checked the front door again?
Yes.
I have one, instead of a camera, I don't have a camera at home. I just have a device that keeps reminding me of what I can worry about. How about maybe you left a potato in your bedroom somewhere that's going to go bad.
Right.
Exactly.
I
did think of another thing. Before we get to the questions, I did think of another thing. My father, I was telling you my father had things that were, I don't think he came up with, but they were his. So one of them was, you're not so very far from wrong.
Okay.
And he referred to me as Luck Bucket.
Luck Bucket?
Yeah, I kind of like that one.
Yeah.
Here you go, Luck Bucket. The pizza's here.
That's the most positive thing that I've heard so far.
No, my dad was the good one. My mom was the monster.
No, I'm just saying of the regular things.
Thank God my mom's dead. That's all I got to say, Josh. Thank God. It's like a weight off my shoulders. You know what I mean? You think, what is nagging at you? It's your parents.
Right. Oh, God, I know. I mean, I don't know as much to the point of going, I'm glad my mother's dead, but.
But did you have 2 down in 1 month? Yes. And then to high five yourself from the relief? Okay, that's it. I'm sorry. My apologies. 200 jokes.
But how much of that? I mean, I assume there is some relief.
Oh, absolutely. There is absolutely relief. The thing about my mom, I am making a bit out of things I'm rediscovering through therapy. I am making a bit out of it.
Yeah. I'm just trying to decode the percentages.
Yeah. No, I love my mother.
I know.
She was great, Josh. Yes. Okay. Will that make you happy? My mother did the best she could.
No, it wouldn't make me happy.
No, shoot.
But I mean, do you find that your baseline level of anxiety has gone down?
Did you say anxiety?
Yes.
Because something got brought. Yes. I'm glad that you said that, because I would have to say I'm about 50% less. I mean, I don't want to jinx myself, but I think I'm a lot less anxious in the last week or so.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's. Why am I feel like I'm on a quiz show, but there's no prizes?
There's definitely no prizes with me.
Yeah, no. I'm beginning to process things. I am definitely going back and thinking about things and all this kind of stuff, and do feel a little bit. But since you said so, I do feel measurably, a little bit measurably calmer or something.
Yeah.
Are you saying that's an illusion?
No. I mean, but there's 2 things. There's one, there's literally the lack of presence of your mother, which was an anxiety provoker.
Right.
But there's also the lack of my mother could die at any minute stress.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's all. Oh yeah. Also, we had a lot of stress with Susan's mom and my mom. I was like, with Susan's mom, it's like, and a lot of people are going through this. What are you going to, we don't have enough money for our parent. What are we going to do? She doesn't have any money. How are we going to, and then she just happened to pass before the COVID thing.
Yeah.
So that's a relief, even though, we're not happy that she died, but we keep thinking, can you imagine if this had happened right in the middle of the COVID thing?
Right.
That's how Jewish people cheer themselves up. I'm the Jewish person in that relationship.
Right. The only thing we can put a positive spin on is death.
It could have been worse. It could have been worse. The new musical from the Jewish Brothers.
It could have been worse for us. It could have been worse.
For
us.
Me, specifically. For me, specifically. It could have been worse on my end. The world's going to hell. I gotta tell you, my brother's got a lot of money. I'm not so worried. Sorry, Josh, Elvis, for you and Allison. My brother's loaded. It's not such a big deal. Hey, maybe it's good that he's Republican. Boom, bang, bing, bang, boom.
And intermission.
Yes. That would be nice if we had. And go to the candy bar.
To the what bar?
Do you remember when you used to go to the movie theater and they used to play that retro, let's go out and get some
Yeah, let's all go
drinky.
to the lobby.
Yeah, that's it. Only you would remember the song, which is actually maybe a public domain song that they're using. Da 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 boo boo ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 boo.
Yes, the lobby where all the snack dreams come true.
Hey, do you have popcorn?
Yes, fresh popcorn, Jimmy. Belly up to the soda bar, young lady.
You know what I love? Those mints, those large mints that you eat two of them and you want to vomit.
Yeah. How much? So you like them up through the first, and then the second one is just doom?
Well, everything reminds me of that time.
Which big mints are you talking about, by the way? Are you talking about
they may be junior mints. They could be junior mints, maybe.
Yeah, those aren't big mints, though. You specifically said big mints. That's the opposite.
I don't think I meant big mint. No, I mean it looks like it's like a horseshoe shaped, and it's a mint inside.
A horseshoe shape?
I think I made that up.
Hey, partner, it's time for a mint horseshoe. Your breath is fresh.
What do you call that? It's like barrel shaped. It's barrel shaped. Remember those root beer candies that had a big root beer barrel in the middle?
Wow. Yeah.
Wow is right. Wow is right, my friend.
It's like he dropped acid with Willy Wonka.
Dude. You know, I love that voice. Is that voice Jonathan Winters?
That voice was not Jonathan Winters.
Oh, is that Johnny Carson?
Yeah, I'd like to think so.
Oh, okay, I'm better now. Junior, maybe they're not junior mints, and maybe they're not mints at all.
Maybe a York peppermint patty, perhaps.
That's it. That's exactly what I meant. But they only come one. You only get one, right?
If you get the big ones, yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that's terrible.
It's like a mint. It's like a chocolate mint puck, if you will.
Yeah.
Like an air hockey puck.
And the part that gives it, it's like the part that gives it, it's like zets.
Yeah.
That's the part that gives you a stomachache.
The minty goo, you mean?
The minty goo. Excuse me, I bought this here last week, actually, and the minty goo doesn't seem right. Doesn't taste
seems
right
like
to me
it's
anymore.
Turned.
I will say, Josh, I told you the worst memory is that I was an unsupervised child and just never got any parenting, that my parents let me have a Good and Plenty box, like literally the size of me.
I thought you were going to say chainsaw.
Oh, that was cool. But box of Good and Plenty, the size of me, and they just let me eat it during a movie. Just nobody thought to look over. What's Schmenky doing?
You know what? Letting your kid eat candy at the movie is not exactly a crime against parenting, I'm afraid.
That's a tough. If I want to Roseanne this up, when I say Roseanne it up, I mean maybe add some details.
Yeah.
I have to make it less look like I'm an idiot. You know?
Yeah.
My parents gave me Good and Plenty and it was too much.
No one called social services. Nobody. No one had my back.
Nobody. It's a bicycle and plenty, but it's bigger than the regular kind, so if you eat it,
Oh, that was preschool something.
Preschool social worker.
What? So what happened? What happened? Why are you calling
it seemed that they took young Andy here to a movie.
Okay.
And instead of supervising his candy intake, they let him go crazy.
So what happened?
Apparently, it was a box of Good and Plenty. That was the actual size of him. It was the actual size of him. And apparently, he got inside the box and ate his way out. And there was no supervision.
Okay, I'll report it. Thank you, young man. Or lady.
See you next week on Preschool Social Worker.
See you next week. I like the way the kid has to do the tag. Oh, this is fun. I forget questions when we're having this much fun.
All right, forget question.
Nah.
All right.
No, I don't know. You know what? I'm ready to go AC. I'm just crazy tonight.
All right.
I'm going to loosen my belt.
Crazy for questions, I hope.
Yeah. Cuckoo for questions. I feel like I'm on something.
I'm all right. I don't know. It's mostly funny. I'm good with it.
Until I told him, I said, look, heroin, I don't care what it is, as long as the show seems to be okay.
That's right. Weekends are for interventions.
I actually like him on the heroin late weight.
It just depends what time he takes it, really.
Yeah. Oh, I know it's bad. What is this, a young child doctor?
I don't know. All right. Here we go.
Okay.
Sous Vide wants to know, hey, Jim Neighbors, has the situation improved? Feel free to sing the answer as well as speak it.
No progress.
I think that's a no.
That's the best I can do.
think that's a no.
Good.
Yeah.
When you do it right, just leave it.
Yeah, exactly. Natwi Pahara says, remember this from the Maud theme song? Joan of Arc with the Lord to guide her. She was a sister who really cooked too soon.
She was a sister who really cooked.
Here's a daughter was the first broad burner. Ain't you glad she showed up? Oh, yeah. And when the country was falling apart, Betsy Ross got it all sewed up. And then there's Maud.
And then there's Maud.
And then there's Maud. Mark Thompson says, can Cousin Eddie Kindler confirm if a lot of his old Hills recipes, like those on the Beverly Hillbillies, really feature that much possum?
I did a paper on this in college. I actually...
This is for Cousin Eddie Kindler.
Oh, well, that's the same person. No, I'm from the South. I gotta tell you. Now, I don't know if Andy ever went. I don't know what Andy did on vacations because he was a Jew. But
you're his cousin, though.
Oh, yeah. I love when I'm struggling with both the accent and the concept. Possum. I got out the premise.
All right, good. Jason Parton says, guys, it's been picking at my brain for weeks. How are you going to prep for the upcoming interview with Jiminy Glick?
Andy Kindler? Now, Bodai. Why do I know? Why do I know the name Bodai?
Dan Wade.
I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. No, you jumped right in where you should. Dan Wade says, hey, guys, I have a question for Andy, since he's such a movie buff. I was watching Young Frankenstein the other day, and one line confused me. Terry Garr says he would have an enormous Schwanstucker. Andy, what is she talking about?
Oh, it's a purse, a Jewish purse.
Thank
you. That's for an example of first thought theater. That's what at least I got something in. Right?
Right.
No, right. Well, why do I say people who are very insecure say right? Right?
Sky 2 says, I was tempted to reply to the Debar tweet with Chewbacca. I had tweeted a thing about how Michael made me feel like Chewbacca often. There was a picture of the two of us together. I was tempted to reply to the Debar tweet with Chewbacca, more like
Chewbacca.
I'm sure you'd see where this is going.
I did. And I'm so excited to fill it in.
I figured I'd turn it into an opportunity to thank you guys for Thought Spiral instead. 2 coffees coming up, and sure enough, he gave us 2 coffees.
That is so nice, and thank you for letting me sink my teeth into Chewbacca. Do you remember when Lee Baca ran for the sheriff?
I do. Now he's in
then
jail.
He was replaced by Chewbacca.
Ha ha ha.
Did Lee Baca die?
I think he went to jail.
Oh, and talk about it. I don't know the case that well, but talk about a guy who deserved it. I think he was torturing people or something, but he couldn't remember was his defense.
Right.
I'm not laughing because it was funny. I don't think what the cops fucking do is funny. Thank you. I don't know why I went that way.
I don't know. Did you undo your bow tie for that?
Hey, that's a good one. You got to write that one down. I think that's a good one. That's a good thing at a party. Oh, that's good.
Not to be far, I was back to say it's so hot here in Austin that I burned my hand on the mail.
Why?
And he literally parenthetically said, "Please lean in on those capitalized words. Thank you."
Well, so we can do. I don't want to say it's hot here in Austin this summer, but I got a 3rd-degree burn opening up my gas bill. Is that what he's going for?
I don't know. It's like every joke you hear lately, you just do it again.
And I do it with a funny voice, though. That's why it's funny.
D. Steele says we want more Eddie Kindler. The people have spoken. What we want is Andy's kinder, simpler brother. Also, I might be deleting my Twitter, so here's going for broke. Huell Hauser about to dive into some sweet pussy licking.
Take it away, Josh. Take it away.
Well, I'm here at the annual Snatch Fest.
Oh, my God.
And I am going around to booth. And this one appears to be for some sweet, sweet pussy licking.
I just want to say that that the word snatch is management does not reflect management's use of words.
Well,
it's in the
real comedians don't shut down like a nun when they hear a word.
What? You're right. You know what I lost? My guts. I lost my guts. I lost my goddamn guts. I'll go even further. Vag lady. Hey, vag lady. That's a woman who's got a vagina. Hey, vagina lady. I can't see. Woman's got a huge vagina blocking my view. Don't hang up on me. I swear to God, I'll kill you.
Really? It's a death
I'll
threat.
kill you.
Wow.
I'll take the pretense role. I'm going to drop off.
First he censors me, then he threatens my life.
Yeah. Look in your mailbox. It's some raw beans. Boom. Explosion. That's not funny.
An explosion of flavor.
Maybe that's the thing. It's a funny Unabomber plot. It's a Unabomber, but he's got a sense of humor.
Sure. You've seen the pictures. He had a sense of humor.
He really did. He really did. And talk about somebody who did a lot with a small space. He was the Fernie Tiny House Nation guy.
He was, absolutely. Not only living space, but a factory.
Can I just say one thing to you without getting sued? Living spaces.
Nope, I'm suing you.
Okay. Hey, you know what? I tried to take my penis to small claims court. They said it's not the size; it's how soft it is.
They said you'll have to try minuscule claims court.
I don't want to say my penile situation has gotten worse, but I had to take somebody to minuscule claims court.
See, you just say the joke over again.
And doesn't it? It gives you a couple of choices when you're editing. A couple of choices. I just realized that Eddie Kindler is very similar to
Gomer Pyle?
Zach Galifianakis' Southern brother. Okay. But what's he going to do? Sue me?
Probably.
He loves me.
Not enough to listen. Not enough to listen to this, which is what will save you.
I hope my family doesn't. Don't worry, they won't.
Seth Dick III says Major League Soccer is back and playing for a World Cup-style tournament. Reminds me that Mr. Potter was Zulu's soccer coach in deleted scenes. I think he meant Zuzu.
Are you sure it's not Zulu? I think I said Zulu.
Zuzu's soccer coach in deleted scenes, and he had run-ins with her dad over playing time.
You know, these things are so complex, these premises now.
Mr. Potter, you have to put Zuzu in. She's been practicing all week. Go back to the bleachers, Bailey. You once called me a bad soccer coach. Well, what are you but a bad soccer parent? A miserable little bastard coming here telling me how to run my team.
Maybe you're a bit of undigested beef. Oh, wrong one.
Mozart, too, says, I'm sneaking one in. Oddly enough, like you and J. Elvis, not only do I love MASH, but I also love the Beatles. What are the odds? That's
what's great about this podcast. We bring oddballs together.
Have you heard that Peter Jackson's cut of Get Back, the Let It Be footage, has been postponed until 2021? Do you care? I don't care a lot.
I don't get this.
Peter Jackson's is taking all the raw footage from the Let It Be shoots and making his own movie.
Oh, I had not heard about that. I want to see that.
Yeah, I want to see it too, but I don't think it should supersede Let It Be.
So how would it supersede? In other words, you think?
Well, Let It Be hasn't been in release for years and years.
I know, it's my favorite. I've seen it once.
I've seen it several times,
and it's great, right?
Yeah, I really like it a lot. But Paul hates it. Paul clearly hates it.
Well, there's no wonder why he hates it. He gets picked on a lot in there.
Well, and it just makes him look like a dick.
He's a little bit. I got the feeling he's a little controlling.
But I think that this will be, much more Paul service than Let It Be was. And probably something in between is probably legit, but...
Yeah.
Do I think what?
Do you think that it's not an attempt by Paul to correct the record, though, or anything like that, right?
I get the feeling there's a little bit of that.
Oh, because Paul's producing it?
I don't think Paul's producing it, but...
Yeah.
But, but he gets, it's Beatles stuff, so he gets to say stuff.
Who directed the documentary original one?
The original one was Peter something. Michael Lindsay Hogg, actually.
Oh, why do I know him? Where's he from? Or is he from the Ruddles, or they make fun of him in the Ruddles?
They might have made fun of him in the Ruddles.
Yeah. You got me all excited about this now. I'll tell you because I
But it was supposed to come out this year, and now it's postponed for years.
Okay, now I missed why it is postponed. Is there a reason? Is it just because it's taking a long time, or is there backlash?
No, there's no backlash. I think it's either COVID related, or or it's just taking a long time.
And where can you see?
Documentaries can take a while. I hear.
No. Look at the way you cranked out yours. And look how much money you made on yours. Yours was very profitable. Oh, Josh, I think I'm having a heart attack. Josh.
Jason Parton says...
Nicely played.
To Andy's question about electric leftovers, it was not inspired by ELO. It actually came from a random name generator 6 or 7 years ago. I liked it, so I used it. Question of the week. Question of the week. Do you guys listen to any podcasts? If so, what are they? Is Le Show one of them?
I have never listened to Le Show, and I love Harry Shearer, but I just realized that obviously I'm the last one to realize this. He was doing a podcast before podcast. It was a radio show for so long. I didn't know it was even a podcast. Anyway, I have not listened to that one. And I do listen to I have many recommendations. Josh, you take over while I look at my list.
I don't listen to that many. Back to you, Andy.
All right, I'll just say a couple of things. I really like this one it's called Guru, and it's only got a 3.5 rating. It's on Wondery. It's about the guy who was a part of The Secret, and he went on and did some horrible things. I've talked about the Peter Bogdanovich thing.
Yeah.
I think I've said everything that. Criminal is very good.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's enough for now. What am I afraid of? A free service?
Greg Kelly says, I'm not saying Mary Trump has done a lot of interviews, but tonight I saw her chatting about her book with James Mason.
Oh, no. What a disappointment for me. I thought he would have a fresh joke at the end.
Well, Mary, it's so nice to have you. I've read your book, and I have to say, it sounds like you've really got this fella pegged. Doesn't sound like you came from good people, I must say. You did not come from good people.
There's so much money you can make on an evening with James Mason.
Oh, yes. Remember the time I did the Night Train Mad Dog ad?
Wait, was that a real ad or is that a request?
No, he did the ad for, I can't remember what the bad wine was now because I just made the joke. But it was, it was Thunderbird.
Ah, the Thunderbird.
Thunderbird wine has an interesting taste. I've had a lot of wine before, and I've never tasted anything quite like Thunderbird wine. Try it over ice; it'll dull some of your taste buds, and enjoy.
How did he rationalize doing that? Money? He liked the money?
Filthy lucre, my friend. I must have had a divorce at the time.
You wouldn't think someone with such a charming voice.
The tax rate in England was absolutely draconian at the time.
In fact, my last name was Draken. Josh, I thought of another great podcast. It's called Slow Burn. It's about David Duke, and it's really great.
I actually liked the previous editions of Slow Burn even better, but.
Oh, okay. That's season 4. I never heard the previous season.
Yeah, the previous ones are like Watergate. There's Biggie Smalls and Tupac.
Biggie Smalls I'm listening to. Yeah,
and then
that's great.
There was another, and it's good.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. And if you agree, it must be very good because you don't normally listen to many things.
I don't. I really listen to them just to fall asleep to usually.
Yeah, but that's why I got Calm.
Calm, ladies and gentlemen.
Calm. How are you 3 months from now?
Rip it open. Name something Andy Kindler's not.
What is?
Calm. Calm. Yes, calm.
Nervous, sweaty, panicky,
and
ill.
Name an Andy Kindler pipe dream.
This voice is now deep in our souls, our collective souls.
Yes.
So good.
Stephen Elton Yates says the equilibrium vapor pressure of a liquid is generally strongly dependent on temperature. Didn't James Mason do a version of Who's on First with Howard Cosell on Monday Night Football?
A2, Stephen?
Or was that just an acid flashback?
Are people trying to end the podcast? I don't mean end it, but I love it.
No one needs to hear us fuck that thing up. So
right.
Here's Stephen Elton Yates' other request. Andy, have you seen Jay Leno doing an ad for catheters? I understand he prefers the smooth ones. do you have an Edison wax cylinder recording of it?
Yeah, it's now. It's just unbelievable now that, I have my own car, my crazy cars. I drive around I want to use the bathroom. I went into preschool shark. You don't need the bathroom, just go right in the car. And so I need a catheter. I like a catheter that looks like an old jalopy. I'm not good with impressions.
This isn't my first rodeo. No, if I couldn't pee through this tube, I wouldn't be selling it to you.
Here's something.
It goes up your penis.
Hey, let me get this straight, Josh. For years, catheters only came in piercingly, horribly painful.
They came in jagged and less jagged.
I hope Chuck Woolery is going to be okay now. I hope that this recent fun furl doesn't affect his catheter ads. That's a bad week, right? When you come out on Tuesday and you say something's fake, and then on Wednesday, sadly, my son has the thing I said was fake.
I'm quitting Twitter now.
You know what I call that? Tuesday!
Terry Caulfield wants to know if either of us have ever used the phrase peace and chicken grease when saying goodbye to someone.
No. In fact, I happened to glance at this earlier, and it doesn't even ring a bell to me.
No, never heard it either.
And I'm even going to resist the urge to say, in my family, we used to hear and then try to come up with something. Right. Chicken, and then see? But I still didn't save for the time of talking about the joke I didn't do.
All right.
And I'm sorry about that.
No problem. Tom Harding.
Do you feel like you're dealing with an insane man? You need a couple of more minutes out of him, and maybe I should get a cookie.
Maybe he gets a cookie.
He gets a cookie. Hey, Andy, do me a favor. Go 7 more minutes, get a cookie, and I'll set up a flare.
Tom Harding says, as a Brit who only ever bought mass-market pre-packaged bagels, can you enlighten me on how good these fresh-baked bagels are? Are you talking a slightly improved experience or a different universe of enjoyment?
Well, that's a different universe.
Well, I don't know. I mean, yes. I mean,
could be
a fresh bagel from the bakery, from a good bagel bakery, is a different experience than a bag of Lender's bagels, for example.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. I think that experience definitely lessens as you ship them and freeze them and toast them. It's kind of like, it's hard to answer. I mean, it's almost like do you find pizza crust important?
That's a I don't know if it's a perfect analogy, but I'll take it.
So, okay, good.
What am I?
Good. That's all we need. I'm saying it, you're listening, and you buy it. So I think that's all. That's the agreement That's all we need.
What have I become? What am I? What am I? A contrarian for every sentence?
But as a British person and pizza crust, I don't know. My limited experience with pizza in London was
not good.
It was atrocious. Let's just be honest.
But do they have, but London, but if you go to Scotland and you have a scone, see, I'm always suspicious about conclusions about baked goods because it could be that when they make their specialty, which I don't know what that would be in London. Crispits?
Elephant mucus pie.
Oh, Josh, see, yours is very, very racist. That last laugh I did was fake. It was a laugh just to tell myself, that's okay, Andy. That's okay.
You'll get him next time, Chief.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I guess outside and high. Will do.
So yes, I would say, before you go ordering $50 worth of bagels, I would say find yourself a reputable bagel bakery and have one fresh. And make your own.
Is he in London now?
Well, he's a Brit. We don't know London.
Okay. We don't know. Because if he's still in Britain, my question would be, can you get a good bagel in the entire UK?
I bet there's some Jewy part of town where it happens.
Well, in Europe, there used to be more Jewy parts of town. Not so much. Not so much.
Really?
Yes. Yes. Ixnay on the Holocaust. Hey. Stupid. I'm sorry. No letters.
It didn't happen in England, by the way.
Wasn't one of the princes or something like Hitler? The king's brother? Somebody was a little chummy with Hitler. I got to see the documentary again.
Go back and watch the movie.
The Windsors, Part 7.
Joe Andrus says in 1914, the Order of the White Feather was created to shame young British men with attractive young women to join the army. I think Middle America needs something like this to put a dang mask on. Any ideas?
To put a what?
A dang mask on.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I thought he said a Dane mask.
Well,
and it made me think of Dane Cook and the mask.
We know that shaming no longer works in America.
No. People are proud of their desire to infect others.
Yes.
They're in your face, in fact.
Yes. No, their desire to upset others regardless of the reason.
Yeah, it's my right.
Feelings must be hurt. Sensibilities must be challenged.
My rights end up down your throat. Yeah, it's a sad time.
So, free food. Free food seems to be the only motivator that crosses all paths, all lines.
Right. I laugh the laugh of the desperate.
If it was like you get a free Krispy Kreme donut, if you wear a mask, people would wear a mask.
Yeah. And they'd also, so you know you'd have
and they'd stand in line for 7 hours for that free fucking donut.
And then you know you'd end up with a sticky mask. I don't know why I sold that so hard. Sorry.
You just were like...
This is me 2 years from now if the therapy doesn't work out. Who's mad? Who's mad? Who's mad? What are you talking about? Are you mad at me? Am I mad at me? Is everyone mad at me? Are people mad at me because I haven't done anything for the last 2 years but ask, are you mad at me? Is that it?
MST3K UK, a.k.a. M. Ledsome.
Yes.
Says, this is actually M. Ledsome, shamelessly plugging my MST account for no good reason at all.
It worked.
While we're on plugging, I wonder what mighty voice Tom Servo would say about Jay Elvis's smashing new documentary.
Ooh. This is a nice request.
I would say that he's the man. There you go.
That sounds like James Mason to me.
It did not sound like James Mason.
I know. I was just playing. I love you. You know I love you, John.
I love you too, Andy.
We did a podcast retreat, and we were told that we should have more empathy for each other.
They said retreat further.
Retreat further, and yes, but with love. Good point, buddy boy.
Ed Kupfer says, why are comics so fascinated with infomercials? Because we're all up at 3 a.m.
Correct. Ding, ding, ding. That has to be why I'm the only one who knows. Did you use a Bic pen between the years of 1970? I watch so much late night TV. I watch both Have You Been Injured by Roundup? But I also watch, hey, Roundup's been trusted for years.
And which side do you fall on?
I don't trust Roundup. But I also don't, I don't know.
You don't trust a German chemical company?
That one I laughed and then thought more.
Perush says, is Andy the central character from Deacon Blues?
Yeah, I think I am. They call Alabama the Crimson Tide. Yes, I do often feel like that the poor, what's it called? What's his role in the song? I mean, is a third person song? I don't know what I'm saying. But I get that feeling about my life sometimes.
Yeah, it's not the name you'd use for the winners in the world.
No. I want one. They call Alabama. But I could listen to it forever, though. That's one of my favorites.
And never learn the words, which is pretty impressive.
You know, Josh, I forgot what the words were. America knows, and you had to go back in for one more helping of whoop ass. Hey, Josh, I'm going to get a can of some whoop ass. Stay here. I'll be right back.
All right. I think there's a twofer. I think there's a whoop ass BOGO.
I still can't get used to BOGO.
No?
Can't get used to it. It bothers me.
Okay, that's all right.
No, don't save me from this bit.
No, that's okay. You can just...
I'm trying. Hey, Josh, I'm trying to transition out of the guy who hates everything.
Yeah. Right. That's how I'm trying to help with that. It's okay to hate it, Andy. Just move on.
Someone get Jim Lefevre back.
Programming. Is there a thing on the Calm app which gets rid of, like...
I think Ron Lefevre said it best.
Sayings,
he said, Jesus Christ, Josh. Did you even fucking know he was a comedian when you signed up for the podcast?
It's Chaotic Neutral. Says chicken, pot, pie. Which is your favorite?
Pot.
Yeah, I'd keep pot around longer than the other two.
Yeah. Now, if you said homemade chicken soup, pot, it would still be pot. If you said a wonderful
If you said my wife, pot, I would still be pot.
Yes. If you said the intimacy of my relationship, or pot. The intimacy, or pot.
Still undefeated.
Pot. The ability to enter into a new project and complete it on time, or pot.
Pot.
Cocaine, or pot.
Pot.
It better be pot.
Yeah.
It better be pot, Andy.
Pot, for sure.
For the love of God.
For the love of pot.
I've had the opportunity to do cocaine twice in the last 2 years, and I'm someone who had I hate it, but I used to like it and hate it.
Yeah.
And so turning it down, I don't think I would ever try it again, because it's not a good thing for me.
No one wants to see your heart explode.
Or hear about it.
No, exactly.
When they come out with a safe cocaine that makes you feel good, let me know.
I will. It's called Red Bull.
That's not much safer, because I've done 2.5 hours and I really did feel like I was going to die. I haven't had a Red Bull since I performed.
That's good.
If you call that performing.
Richard Cole says when Canada reopens in our theaters and clubs, Andy Kindler should recommend Josh for a slot on Just for Laughs Roadshow. Get a 6-month work visa and be home for next year's MLB season. Come up here and make bank in packed houses.
There's so much about
hashtag Ask the Wives.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of leap of faiths in that whole thing.
Yeah.
That we're going to draw well.
Right.
That's going to be fun.
That Andy would actually try to get me a gig.
I can't, Josh. Josh, listen to me. I'd love to. It's like the big picture we do every day.
All right, exactly.
Josh, would you mind getting out of the car while I talk to Jeff Ross's agent? I don't know. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that.
Also, yeah, I don't know. I
don't know what the deal is with that.
I don't think my future is in stand-up.
Oh, I thought you were going to comment on the Jeff Ross situation.
No, Jeff. God bless you and Jeff Ross. You two have fun together.
Don't get me in there. All right. Take this whole part out. I mean tonight. The whole night.
Justin Faulkner says, Andy, you shocked me when you said there were more than 6 episodes of Dick and Paula. Do you have the other ones? I'll trade you for some bagels. Josh, congrats on the new doc.
You know, that gets me thinking. I think there's more. I'll have to research and come back. I do believe there's more, but now I know that we had an order for 13. I know we made more than 6, but maybe they never put together the other ones. So I'll have to check on that. That's a good question that I keep asking myself for the last couple seconds. Dick and Paula. Duly noted.
Adam Nicollet says, what are the events that make up the Thought Spiral Olympics? The 30-second Remember,
The anxiety, the long anxiety, the high anxiety jump.
All right. The
circular reasoning.
And the pentathlon, oddly enough.
And yeah, the last one, and golf. Yeah, tangents. We have a tangent, something with tangents.
Yes, tangents, tag team tangents.
You know, I just lost the ability to come up with jokes about this.
So, yeah, when it goes from podcast to pitch room, everything gets very quiet.
Yeah, I know. You would hate to be, wouldn't you hate to be locked up with me on the night that we have to finish a script?
You lost me at locked up with you.
But then I got you back on, I was just making it up. It's not going to really happen.
Yes. I like it.
Try the soup.
Gomar Comer says comedian Chris Locke, who Andy might recall from the JFL 42 alternative show last year in Toronto.
He's a brilliant comic.
Has a comedy/meditation podcast called Happy Good that is hilarious and calming. It's the perfect weekly wind down after spiraling with you two.
I will check it out. I love him. He's a really great comic and a great person. So I say Happy Good is on my list. Why do I think I turned to somebody phony, but it's better than being an asshole.
Yeah, if you're genuinely an asshole, yeah, it is better.
Huh? Okay.
Perush is back to say, is the Cajun waiter character more like from Mayberry or more like Zappa Ding Kingfish asking for a friend?
What's Zappa Kingfish?
I don't know what Zappa Ding Kingfish is, but maybe doing Kingfish is what he meant to say. And
what is Kingfish like?
Kingfish is the sort of Amos and Andy-ish voice used in so much Zappa stuff. No, the Cajun character is a Cajun character. I don't know what. I don't know what. He's not from Mayberry, that's for sure. That's all the way in North Carolina. I'm down here in the bayou, and Frank Zappa is culturally appropriating.
Man, that's what I say about that.
Thank you. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Tom the Tom says, last week I saw a cover of Paranoid played on the stylophone and heard 2 new songs making use of it. Having used one for a while on the pod, Josh, do you consider yourself a trendsetter, a tastemaker, or a third thing?
I don't even know the instrument you're referring to.
Yeah, I don't want to get into it because I've described it and shown it. You've been in the room with it. You've heard it on the podcast.
Oh, God. If I do have dementia, this will be a very funny
It's that
video.
little synthesizer thing that uses a stylus.
Oh, I do remember that. Yes. Yes, I do. Now it's all up in the front of my mind, in my prefrontal cortex.
It's hard to call myself a trendsetter on an instrument that was created in like 1967. But maybe I tapped into something zeitgeisty.
But I think of you as not a tinkerer, but I think of you as someone who could try different things and figure out how to play them.
Oh, yeah. That's all I do.
Except a theremin. I think it would not be that easy.
I liked theremin. I actually was pretty good at theremin.
Ooh. It's an amazing thing.
Because it's all feel and ear. It's not, there aren't precision skills one needs other than hearing.
And knowing how to form the sound?
Yeah, well, the sound isn't that diverse, so the sound is really based on your proximity to the whatever that is with your hand.
Like a magnetic field of some type? I don't know why I said that, but I thought for a second you go. It's exactly what it is.
I was trying to back out of trying to commit to a word.
It's like it's an electromagnetic instrument, Andy.
Yeah.
Shut up, Andy. Man, but it looks so amazing. Here's my image of it. It's like one of those machines where they blow air, like at the bowling alley, but out comes like a magnetic-y, static-y field, and you put your hand in the middle. And it goes, ree-woo-wah.
No, not really.
Thank you. I have a good feel for things, don't you think?
Yeah, yes. You won't be much help to the aliens.
Or if we get lost in the woods.
Right, neither.
Andy, how do we get out of here? Isn't there a way? I think that you just You say one direction's north and you just keep trying to go straight. I was told that you try any leaf, anything that comes in leaf form you could eat.
Right.
Well, how about this ivy here, Andy? This ivy.
Yeah.
It's good.
Eat the third leaf first.
Oh my God. You know, I think my improv skills have much improved.
They're really great.
I'm like a Mr. Sketch.
You're like Del, not that close.
I like that kind of joke.
Larry Morrissey says, enjoyed the documentary, Josh. Thank you. Was any of the stuff Little Steven said written, or did it all come from the top of his scarved head? He knows how to button things up and get a plug-in for his channel. It was written pretty much by Steven. I mean, it wasn't written by me. I had to sort of loosen him up because he came in with a very sort of prepared agenda. But I wasn't going to try to talk Little Steven out of his agenda very much. But what I had was my philosophy is that he was existing outside the movie, essentially. Like the note I gave him is like, I want to come to you as if you've just watched the movie. And so that way I felt better about it being a little more prepared.
Yes.
Because it existed in a different space. And
I think it was a challenge doing it. The idea of making it work was a challenge. And I realized I haven't seen it.
But tons of people have commented about it and how much they love it.
That's great. I think it's great.
So, yeah, I'm happy about that. Barb says, no question, just thanks for keeping us all company during this time of biblical plagues. By the way, fantastic documentary, Josh, and I'm enjoying the album, Andy.
Well, thank you. And I think you're going to get so many of those about the doc because it's just people don't know what to expect, and they're just going to be absorbed by it. You know.
Will you watch it? Will you watch it again?
Of course, I would watch it again immediately. So I'll get it from Amazon. Is it Amazon Prime?
Yeah, it is. By the way, it's all the prints are. As far as I know, the prints are fixed everywhere now.
Yeah.
By the way,
well, he sounds like the Obamacare website, week 3.
That's right. But
I would love. Yeah, I will watch it again.
Yeah, I'd love to hear what you think. With fresh eyes.
It's been a long time, also, since I watched it.
But if anyone did get the other version that didn't have Steven Van Zandt, write me at thoughtspiralshow@gmail.com, and I'll send you to a link to show you the Steven Van Zandt thing. That's a special Thought Spiral listener guarantee. Just show me your proof of purchase.
And that's because you're a Patreon. Bing, bang, ding. I mean, a cup of coffee here. Bing, bang, boom.
Boop, boop, boop. Quarantina Faye. What will the next LA fad diet be?
These are good questions.
I think it's going to be the Quarantine 15. There's the Quarantine 15.
What does that mean exactly?
It means the 15 pounds you put on during quarantine.
Would you say the current fad is still that thing that what's it called? What do they call it? And they always say it's like friendly, cardio friendly, not keto.
Yeah.
Isn't that the current fad where you don't eat any fat and then your fat eats itself or something?
I think you nailed it. Yes. It's that simple.
Thanks, Josh.
You don't eat any fat and your fat eats itself.
High carb is coming back.
Yes. Gravy shots, I think, will be the next.
Well, they had the butter diet already, I think, which was like in Norway or something. There's a butter diet.
Yeah.
And they had butter coffee is still a fad.
Sure. That's part of a keto thing.
Yeah.
All right. That didn't go well. I'll be honest.
What didn't go well? The whole night?
That question.
Oh, well, I think I at least, here's what I think about my current condition. I've arrested the slide. Like I was having trouble with actually concentrating, and I took an Adderall, so that shouldn't be the problem.
Yeah.
But
you took the Adderall too close to the game, I think.
No, that's not true. Right before the podcast. What do you say,
Yes.
Josh? I allowed right at 2 minutes to 9, a minute at 1 minute after 9. It's going down my gullet.
All right. And we're feeling it. We're feeling it now. Here.
Yeah, but look how much we've done tonight.
Here, focus on this. Yo ho 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 yo ho 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 yo ho 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 yo ho ho yo 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 Yoshi Yamamoto.
Yamamoto.
Josh, I love the doc. Ever thought about getting into the history narration game? There's money in it.
What does that mean? History by narration.
Well,
no.
The documentary opens with me narrating some medieval history of the Debar family.
I would like somebody to recommend, though, a good history podcast, because I kind of need one, but the ones that people have told me about, I don't like.
There's a lot of them that are for dolts.
Yeah, I want one where the guy has a personality, but he's not like this. One guy has a southern
There's
accent.
some where it's like Pawn Stars, where it's like, Babe Ruth was a popular baseball player in the 1930s.
Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want that. No, I don't want like a Collier's Encyclopedia Online guy.
If there's one good villain from Star Wars, it's Darth Vader. I'm gonna see if I can get this for the right price.
And then in 1975, Steven Spielberg.
Yoshi also says, Andy, what's your system for smoking joints? Do you put them out for later? Do you separate so you don't get strains mixed up?
I try not to mishmash all the pot, but the pot that's unfinished when I smoke, I realize that I never not smoke smokable pot. So whether I'm smoking in a pipe and there's stuff left over, I strain it somehow, and I usually just combine the leftover pot into a joint of some type. I don't know. I've been feeling mixed feelings about the joints recently.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the infused joint, I think the infused joints either are overrated or maybe I'm just smoking too much pot.
Yeah. The infused joints don't have the same kick as the old tarantulas I used to do.
What's the tarantula?
Tarantulas is like, it had wax and it was dipped in keef and it was... Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. It seems like it's $35 and there's none of that in there now for a infused thing. I don't know. But I still like the mini... I still like the, like the mini joints or little everything. I like everything.
You like the little mini pre-rolls.
Yes. But I haven't been smoking as much outside because I just feel weird. When I go back, I take a walk, I don't want to, I don't know what it is. It's the COVID.
The Trash Man says, in honor of the always topical conservative comedian Dennis Miller, parenthetically Joe Dirt 2, otherwise known as @DennisDMZ, a.k.a. Dennis Miller Zone, what is your favorite demilitarized comedy area or club? Well,
demilitarized?
My favorite is Acme Comedy Club in Minneapolis.
Oh. I thought that he was trying to have us make up something new. It's so hard to think about clubs now. The whole topic makes me think weird, but I'll go with your take.
All right. Well, we ran out of steam and questions at the same time, Andy.
It was good timing that way, but I want to tell you something. Just because it seems like we ended with a whimper, well, I haven't whimpered yet. I still think it was a solid week, Josh. Good work.
I'm glad you feel that. I'm glad that's your vibe.
No, I can definitely tell that I'm starting to fade, but what's my excuse on Monday, 3 minutes in?
Well, I'm about to go into a long run of plugging things, so sit back and relax, my friend. I'll see you on the other side. Hey, everyone. I've got a new documentary called Michael Debar, Who Do You Want Me to Be? And it's available all over the place. Please get it. I know a lot of you have, and a lot of you have tweeted about it, which I really appreciate. Please help me spread the word. Then there's Andy's album, hence the humor. He wants you to get that. That's streaming everywhere album.
Yeah, please get that one, folks, please.
Then there's
the other things, too.
Then there's a whole matter of buymeacoffee.com where you can support our show. Go to buymeacoffee.com/thoughtspiral. Buy us a coffee.
Yes.
Buy us a coffee.
Why wouldn't you buy us a coffee?
Or go to iTunes. Leave us a nice review. Or go to Amazon and leave my movie a nice review. There's lots of ways you can be nice to us, is I guess what I'm trying to say.
Oh, can I plug something I forgot to plug?
Of course.